Hey guys, I wanted to talk about CapEx spending on AI and when that inevitably slows down, because at some point it will. I don't think it's going to affect all AI stocks. I actually think it's going to mainly affect NVIDIA, AMD, other companies that have been benefiting from the chip demand. Obviously, if supply catches up demand and they're spending less, then NVIDIA's growth is going to slow down, which it's already shown that a little bit. And with time, as the company matures, it's inevitable, right? You can't show 100 to 200% growth forever, but I do believe they're going to continue to have strong growth, but just at a slower pace. And then especially when autonomous, robotics, quantum computing, right? These growth drivers help their revenue as well. I think this stock will be fine long term, but no question, growth will slow down at some point and these stocks could take a hit in the short term. But the nice thing is other companies like Meta, for example, if they reduce their CapEx spending, that's going to help the company. That's literally all this company needs to do if they want their share price to go higher. And that's why I say buy the dip on that one, or I've said it when it went to 600 and below, okay? And then, let's say Google, for example, with their TPU chips. Now, they have zero sales so far with that. And so any growth, obviously it's going to be nice, right, to begin with. So when they're at the beginning of selling a chip for the first time, they can grow nicely for a while. And that's one of the reasons, among others, Gemini 3, Waymo, other reasons why Google is going to keep its momentum and likely be have the largest market cap among the mega caps. And maybe Google becomes the AI bellwether instead of NVIDIA. I can see that happening because, again, NVIDIA is cyclical. Eventually, like I said, yes, their numbers are going to take a hit because remember, the majority of this CapEx spending by the hyperscalers, aka the mega cap companies, the large caps or the mega caps, that is paid to NVIDIA right now. And so obviously their numbers are going to take a hit when that slows down. And that's why some of this has already been pulled forward, why NVIDIA stock has taken a hit, because people realize that Google's TPUs are going to get bought more, which could affect NVIDIA's market share, okay? And obviously when CapEx spending is slowing down, Google's not going to spend as much most likely because they're making their own chips right now. So they won't spend as much on NVIDIA's. So that's why NVIDIA stocks come down, and it can easily come down more, guys, okay? But I do think long-term dip buyers will eventually come in because of the other growth drivers they have. And AMD, like I said, has a higher valuation than NVIDIA, so that could get dragged down as well, okay? And some of the other semiconductor names, again, but Google, like I said, that's why that one is a good one. Amazon as well, because they're going to have their Trainium chips coming out at some point. That's their customized chips, which will be, a growth driver for them as well. So if you're worried, guys, you focus on those companies that are just starting their chip selling experience, like Amazon, and Google especially is a little ahead of Amazon, okay? But Amazon's going to have something as well. And then, like I said, Meta, they have not only the AI side, but they have the family of apps, which the advertising money that gets insane. And remember, half the world, guys, half of the world's population uses one of those apps, Facebook, Instagram, or WhatsApp. And so that's why you can't sleep on Meta if you're a long-term investor anywhere on this dip. Obviously, it was ideal when it went to 600 and below, and members know that's when I was telling them to buy. But that's one that's going to recover with time. Just makes sense. And then there's other great plays, guys, out there. So it may affect some of the AI stocks, but not all of them. And like I said, some of this has been pulled forward already because of the worries over OpenAI and them being able to pay these companies what they're saying, okay? Which, again, that could create a slowdown, maybe delays in projects. Again, it makes sense that something like that could happen, and that'll affect the AI stocks temporarily, which is happening right now. But that's going to be the opportunity to get in at better prices and dollar cost average, guys. So I just wanted to share my thoughts on this with you. Have a good day.